Hi, I'm Chris with the Mobile Internet Resource Center, here to share a bit of news about Verizon. Verizon revealed yesterday that they are about to start locking phones and cellular devices when they are sold. And well, what does this mean? One of our favorite things about Verizon in the past is during the entire history of Verizon having LTE devices, all Verizon LTE devices have been sold completely unlocked, which means from the moment you get it home, you can take it and put in SIM cards from other carriers. So you can buy a Verizon iPhone and use it on AT&T or T-Mobile. You can take Verizon hotspots, use them on other carriers. As long as they are technically compatible with the frequencies behind the scenes, you can use Verizon devices really wherever you want them. This is a really great feature. Unfortunately, it seems this has been a really favorite feature of thieves and as well. So this is the reason Verizon is announcing they are changing this policy. People have been stealing phones from Verizon stores and then shipping them overseas or selling them on the black market, and because they're not locked, there's not a lot of control over that. So Verizon is the only carrier right now that sells phones by default completely unlocked. And the reason for this goes back to 2008 when Verizon bought the spectrum that they built the core of their LTE network on. This was known as the C-block spectrum from the FCC, and the FCC auction that sold this had a condition that the winner of this spectrum auction would have to abide by open access rules. And well, those open access rules had a few interesting traits to them. Where is it? So one of them is handset locking was completely prohibited. No licensee of the C block could disable any devices or lock them to one carrier. It had to be open. This was the reason that Verizon has always had unlocked LTE devices. And then the other rule is that the licensee could not block the devices, customers from using their plan with the devices and applications of their choice. And this other part of the rule was why Verizon has never blocked people from taking a SIM card from a phone, particularly like a grandfathered UDP line, and using that in a hotspot. Now, so Verizon is about to start pretty explicitly breaking this rule with their new plan to start locking phones going forward to so-called prevent theft. We're worried that this means that this is the beginning of a slippery slope, and Verizon may soon begin also to block users transplanting SIMs from one type of device to another, and that will kind of ruin the day for all the mobile users out there who are using Verizon grandfathered UDP SIMs in hotspots and routers. Why can Verizon get away with making this change after so many years of abiding by these old rules? Well, the real big question is, who is going to stop them? In the past, the prior FCC was very focused on those rules. They kind of pushed for the unlocking rules, and they were very focused on consumer advocacy. The new FCC administration is actually headed by a former Verizon lawyer and is much more intentionally business focused. And though the rules don't magically vanish, how they're interpreted might be changing right now. And in particular, the rules had kind of an escape clause written into them that was, in the whoever has the license, the C-block license, can base its network restrictions on industry-wide consensus standards, and they would be presumed to be reasonable. So Verizon is using that exact wording with their change to their locking policy, where they're going to start locking phones. Is they're now going to follow the industry-wide consensus of having a time period that phones will be locked, devices will be locked, and then customers can request an unlock after that period of time. Does this mean Verizon is going to start doing other limitations based on industry-wide consensus? Well, it's a pretty slippery slope. We're going to be watching very closely to see where this goes, and are a little bit distressed by Verizon making these big, bold changes. So